Sometimes it's just a matter of decorum, especially after what happened with the previous person who was unalived or killed, whichever way you chose it. But what took place, or what our president was thinking about, and maybe you have those thoughts, and some people say, well, good, he's telling it like it is. Okay, that's fine. That's how you feel? No problem. I have really nothing to say regarding Rob Reiner and his wife, except that he was a successful director. I remember him in All in the Family. And also remember that essentially, not maybe 2 days ago, he was murdered and his wife was murdered. And for me, any loss of life violently is a tragedy, regardless of who it is. It's a tragedy. Now, you could be left wing, you could be right wing, you could be independent, you could be, I even say, you could be far right or far left. But when you are murdered, you are killed by someone else's hands, then it becomes a tragedy. Of course, if someone was killed in the process of committing a crime, that's something else. But when they're just doing what they would normally do, and they meet with something that they did not have any foreknowledge of taking place, and it ends up taking them out, it's tragic. And most leaders, whether, again, you're on the right or you're on the left, would, if they can't say anything nice about the person, they wouldn't say anything about them at all. Maybe they'll offer condolences to the family, because obviously they have somebody that's going to grieve these people. And you don't want those who are grieving to feel as though their loved one lost their life for practically no good reason. Except our president. And the reason why I'm harping on him is because I've never seen a president act that way towards the death of a U.S. citizen ever before. Not Reagan, not Nixon. So you have to remember, I lived in the days of Nixon and towards the end of Lyndon B. Johnson. But not Nixon, not Gerald Ford, not Jimmy Carter, not Ronald Reagan, not the first George Bush, not Bill Clinton, not the other George Bush, not Barack Obama, not even Trump, his first way around, and of course not Joseph Biden. But this particular president saw fit to make it about himself and cast aspersions on the person's death. Like, did he make his son die? Did he, Rob Reiner, did he make his son kill him because he had suffered what is called TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome? to be honest, if the president didn't say anything at all, it probably would have passed like any other death. Some people would mourn him, some people would dismiss it and go on their merry way, which would have probably been the best thing for him to do. Of course, you know I'm going to come with a Bible scripture. It said, rejoice with them that rejoice, and weep with them that mourn. Didn't say dance on their grave. Didn't say, well, he shouldn't have done this to me. Does it really have to be all about you? Does it really have to be all about you? They're dead. Possibly killed by their son. And I'm not sure if any other world politician, I'm not even talking about U.S. politician, but world politician, leader, would make someone's violent death a product of what seemingly you had to suffer. Because, of course, when someone is talking against your policies, of course, they meant it against you personally. Of course they did. It's like all those people who continue to call Barack Obama a Muslim just because of his name. Just because a lot of people call Joe Biden Sleepy Joe and now Sleazy Joe because of the things that you started. You're the one that named them these things now. I can't even go on the other direction. I can go with George W. Bush. And some of the things that he had to take heat for. But you saw fit, Mr. President, you saw fit to disparage and to make someone's violent death all about you. As if that should give the people satisfaction. Or then that makes us really start to think about what really is on your mind. That you really don't care about nearly half the people in the United States because they voted against you. And so if they died, who cares? They had TDS. And good riddance to them. Rather, the other portion, I'm really governing them anyway. Which is really beginning to think that that's exactly what it's all about. I remember all these people talking about how Barack Obama had divided the nation because of his stance on racism. If he didn't bring it up, then it wouldn't be this problem. And I have to say, I have never seen this nation more divided. Not in my lifetime. Maybe during the Vietnam War, that may be the only time it was worse. And there were riots breaking out all over the country because of because people did not want to continue in a war that would kept stealing or causing the loss of life of our young men and women. Now, I'm not wishing ill will on our president. I hope he serves the full portion of his term, as he is entitled to by the Constitution. And if he does make this country great, then so be it. And that'll be great, because all of us would be able to enjoy it. But maybe not, because maybe only the people that voted for me should be able to share in this. I think that's how, but I remember though what he said during his first term, that when someone disparages me, I go after them. He said that. That's what he said. So really, should I be shocked at this? Should anyone be shocked at what he said? And for those of you that think he's Christian, is that a Christian thing to do? Person just got murdered and you're talking about how he messed you up? Didn't even touch you, but just said words against you. Is that Christian? I'm a bit peeved right now, and maybe I should calm down some. But again, it's not as if Rob Reiner was a saint. I'm not saying he was. He was a man who did his job, provided for his family, and maybe he didn't have the same political views as you. But as a saint of God, every soul, every life is precious. Every one. And that should be understood. That every life is precious. So to denigrate one because of his views on you, that's not good. And definitely that's not Christian. So I don't know who has got it in their mind that this man is Christian. The same man who said at one time, I've never asked God for forgiveness, because he feels he doesn't have to be forgiven. He said that. He said that. Now, if he's president, that's one thing, okay. But at least have some modicum of respect for those who died. We just had another person who was killed in front of us, so many people. And because of his political views, he was practically made a saint when he disparaged several groups of people in this country. But no, we weren't allowed to say anything against him. And to be honest, the fact that he has had such a violent death, at least for time, okay, let's cut out on going against him. But it seems to me that it's only those who don't have the president's view of things is who deserves to be remembered for their deeds. Other than that, they have TDS. Oh, so sad. Too bad, so sad. That's in that type of vein. Just say this, last thing. God knows what's taking place. God keeps track of things. And as we all ask for forgiveness for what we have done that may not have been godly in our lives, for what we say, think, and do, I would suggest is I would suggest any leader, whether you're secular, political, or theological, if a bishop sinned, they should better ask for forgiveness. If my pastor had sinned, he'd better ask for forgiveness, because I know he would. And most people, if they have done something, whether it's physical or by verbal, if they had done something that was off kilter, they would ask for forgiveness. I don't know how many times Hillary Clinton kept asking for forgiveness. I didn't mean to call them basket of deplorables. Didn't care about their, because they said, we can't take her. She doesn't even like us. Well, this president doesn't like half the people in this nation. And definitely none of the immigrants, unless you have a particular complexion now. Now they can come in. In other words, the other ones, I don't want them. They come from blank hole countries. But at least for this time, once, just simply say, very sorry to hear about the death of so-and-so. And just leave it at that. In this case, the less the better. Got that off my chest. I can go back to my wife at dialysis. God bless everyone. You take care of yourselves. And have mercy, saints of God, on those, even those you may not agree with. Have mercy on them, because Jesus had mercy on you. Love you all. God bless you in Jesus' name.